If you are a basketball fan, I'm sure you've heard the argument about which player is the greatest of all time. The GOAT, Michael Jordan, or LeBron James. Barbershops have argued it. Living rooms have argued it. Entire careers in sports media have been built on this one question. So let's do something different. Let's dive into the stats and see who truly is the greatest. No hot takes, no favorites, just the numbers. All of them. And by the end of this video, you might be surprised by what they say. Where does a legend begin? 1984. A 21-year-old Michael Jordan walks into the league and averages 28.2 points a game as a rookie, shooting 51%. Rookie of the Year. Obviously, 2 decades later, an 18-year-old kid from Akron, Ohio arrives with the weight of a nation on his back. Most hyped prospect in the history of American sports. LeBron delivers 20.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, nearly 6 assists a night. As a teenager, Rookie of the Year, obviously. Jordan's debut was louder. LeBron's was younger. Both were warnings of what was coming. But rookie seasons are only chapter 1. Let's meet the full careers. First, meet the contenders. In the red corner, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. 15 seasons, 1,072 games, 6 feet 6 inches of pure killer instinct in a Chicago Bulls jersey. And in the other corner, LeBron Raymond James, 23 seasons and counting. 1,622 games across Cleveland, Miami, and Los Angeles. 2 different eras, 2 completely different careers. 1 title that only one of them can hold. Let's start where every GOAT debate starts. The rings. Championships. Michael Jordan went to the NBA Finals 6 times and walked away with the trophy. 6 times. 6 for 6. A perfect record. He never lost a final series. He never even let one reach a Game 7. LeBron James has been to the finals 10 times and 10 trips. That's a record of its own in the modern era, but he converted 4. 4 titles from 10 appearances. And here's what makes it interesting. LeBron won those 4 with 3 different franchises: Cleveland, Miami, Los Angeles. Jordan never had to rebuild. LeBron never stopped rebuilding. Perfection versus persistence. Hold that thought, because the next number cuts deeper. The hardware. When Jordan made the finals, he owned them. 6 Finals MVP awards, the most in NBA history. Every single time his team won it all. Michael was the reason. LeBron. 4 Finals MVPs, 1 for each title, and famously, 1 with each of his 3 teams. He is the only player ever to win Finals MVP with 3 different franchises. Regular season MVPs, Jordan 5, LeBron 4. Close, very close, but stack the trophies side by side, and Jordan's shelf is heavier. 11 MVP trophies total for Michael, while 8 for LeBron. Now, let's talk about scoring. Before we count every point, let's talk about the nights nobody forgets. Boston Garden, 1986. Playoff basketball against one of the greatest teams ever assembled. Michael Jordan dropped 63 points. 63. It is still, to this day, the most points ever scored in a playoff game. Then there's the flu game. 38 points in the finals while he could barely stand. LeBron has his own gallery. Game 1 of the 2018 finals. 51 points. The 2016 finals. Back-to-back 41-point games to drag Cleveland back from 3-1 down against a 73-win team. When the lights were brightest, both men burned. Now, let's count everything. Total points. This one belongs to LeBron, and it isn't close. Michael Jordan scored 32,292 points. For years, that number was legend, but LeBron James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 2023 and just kept going. More than 43,000 career points, the most any human being has ever scored in the NBA. He is the only player in history with at least 40,000 points, 11,500 rebounds, and 12,000 assists. The all-time scoring king who wears a crown no one may ever take. But before you hand him the debate, ask a different question. Not who scored the most, but who scored the hardest. Points per game. Michael Jordan averaged 30.1 points per game for his entire career. That is the highest scoring average in the history of the NBA. Nobody, not Wilt, not Kobe, not Durant, nobody has ever matched it. LeBron sits at 26.8, elite, historic even, but almost 3.5 points per night behind Michael. Jordan didn't accumulate points. He inflicted them. Every single season he played in Chicago healthy, he led the league in scoring. Which brings us to maybe the most lopsided stat in this entire debate. Scoring titles. Michael Jordan led the NBA in scoring 10 times. 10 scoring titles. That's not just the record, it's a monument. Nobody else in league history has more than 7. LeBron James has 1 scoring title back in 2008. Let that sink in. The all-time points leader led the league in scoring exactly once. That's not a knock. It's a clue. Because LeBron was never trying to be a scorer. He was trying to be everything. And that is where his case begins. Playmaking. Here's where the debate flips. Michael Jordan, 5,633 career assists. Respectable for a shooting guard. LeBron James, more than 12,000. 12,000! Only 4 players in NBA history have ever reached that number. John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, and LeBron James. And here's the thing. The other 3 were pure point guards, pass first players, their whole career. LeBron created more than twice the offense for teammates. That Jordan did. If Jordan was the league's greatest finisher, LeBron might be its greatest engine. And the all-around numbers get even louder. The triple-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, the box score signature of a complete game. Michael Jordan finished his career with 28 of them. Perfectly respectable for a scoring guard. LeBron James has more than 120. 120 versus 28. That is not a gap. That's a different sport. He's recorded them in his teens, his 20s, his 30s. And at 40 years old, one of only 2 players ever to post a triple-double at that age. Complete games across a complete career. But do the advanced numbers agree? For the analytics crowd, 2 numbers. Player efficiency rating. Production packed into every minute on the floor. Michael Jordan, 27.91. The highest in NBA history. LeBron, 27.49. Second all time. After 40,000 minutes each, they're separated by 0.4 of a point. Then, win shares, total wins a player's numbers are worth. LeBron, 236. Jordan, 214 per minute. Michael, in total. LeBron. The machines are just as divided as the barbershops. So let's zoom back out to the complete stat line. The complete stat line. Rebounds. Jordan grabbed 6.2 per game. LeBron 7.5. More than 11,500 total. Added up, and LeBron James is the only player in NBA history. In the 40,000 point, 11,000 rebound, 12,000 assist club. He built a statistical fortress. No one else can even see from where they're standing. Jordan's line, 36 and 5 with 2.3 steals, is the greatest scorer's resume ever written. LeBron's line is the greatest everything resume ever written. But offense is only half the game. Let's check the other end of the floor. Defense. In 1988, Michael Jordan did something no player had ever done. He won Defensive Player of the Year and League MVP in the same season. 9 times he was named All-Defensive First Team. He retired with 2,514 steals. Top 3. All time. As a guard who hunted the ball like prey. LeBron, 5 All-Defensive First Team selections. Great. Genuinely great for stretches. Legendary in moments. That chase down block in the 2016 finals might be the single most famous defensive play ever made. But across whole seasons, night after night, Jordan was the more feared defender. Point. Michael. Now for LeBron's fortress. Longevity. Michael Jordan played 15 seasons, 1,072 games. LeBron James has played 23 seasons, 1,622 games. And this summer, he became the first player ever to appear in 300 playoff games. 300? That's nearly 4 extra seasons of playoff basketball alone. 22 All-Star selections, the most ever. 21 All-NBA teams, the most ever. He was an All-Star at 19 and an All-Star at 41. There has simply never been a career this good for this long. Durability isn't luck at that scale. It's a skill, and it might be LeBron's greatest one. And the resume. Travels. The Olympic Games. Michael Jordan, 2 gold medals. College kid in '84. Then the face of the greatest team ever assembled. The '92 Dream Team in Barcelona. LeBron James, 3 golds. Beijing, London, and in 2024, at 39 years old, he captained the Redeem Team USA in Paris and was named tournament MVP. 3 golds to 2, and a bronze besides. On the world stage, the longer resume wins again. Now, back to the NBA, to the games that decide legacies. The playoffs, where legends are separated from stars. Jordan in the postseason averaged 33.4 points per game, the highest playoff scoring average in NBA history. When the games mattered most, he got better. LeBron owns the other side of the ledger, the most total playoff points in history, more than 8,000. The most playoff games, the most playoff wins. The peak versus the mountain. Jordan's playoff runs were lightning strikes. Short, perfect, devastating. LeBron's are tectonic. Decades of pressure, reshaping the whole landscape. So, after all of that, where does the scorecard land? The honest scorecard. Rings, Jordan. 6 for 6 beats, 4 for 10. Finals MVPs, Jordan. Scoring average, Jordan. 30.1, untouchable. Scoring titles, Jordan 10-1. Defense, Jordan. Total points, LeBron. The all-time record. Playmaking, LeBron, by more than double. Rebounds, LeBron. Longevity, LeBron. 23 seasons and the most All-Star and All-NBA honors ever. All-around production, LeBron. The only 40K, 11.5, 12K player in history. Count it up, though. 5 for Michael. 5 for LeBron. A tie. Not quite, because the last question is the one that decides it. Here's the truth the stats leave you with. If the question is, who was the greatest basketball player at his peak? The most unstoppable force on both ends of the floor? The numbers say Michael Jordan. If the question is, who had the greatest basketball career a human being has ever produced. The numbers say LeBron James. Peak or mountain, lightning or tectonic force. The stats don't end the debate. They just tell you which question you're really asking. Now you know the numbers. So, tell us in the comments, who's your GOAT?